Hey, my name's Liz and I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, and today I have a ship with me video to do. I believe it is 39 orders to ship. I decided yesterday on Sunday to do a clearance sale. Essentially, I sent out offers for 50 to 60% off of everything in my closet that was older than 4 months. And I did that through Posher VA, which if you aren't using that and you sell on Poshmark more than just, a handful of things, I highly recommend it. I will link the information for it down below, but it is the tool that absolutely saves my whole process. So I sent out the offers through that. My goal was just to, not lose money on anything, but to move out old things, and clearly that worked well. I believe it is 43 items that sold. So a few of those are from before the sale or things that, got purchased without those offers being sent to someone. But for the most part, it is those, and we will get started shipping. So the first thing I have is a Disney fleece jacket that's a little kid's jacket. I store everything in my inventory in plastic bags to keep everything neater, but I don't ship in them. I think it's wasteful, and most of the time my items arrive perfectly fine without any issues, and then I reuse the bags to put more things into my inventory. So I've had this for over 2 years. I got it at the bins. It's folded really nicely, so I don't want to unfold it, but it sold for $10, which gave me $5.03, and from the bins I probably paid around $2 for it, so still managed to double my money, which obviously making $2 on something isn't the goal here, but I need the space and needed to clearance out some items, so that was the goal, and $2 is better than nothing is my motto for this video. So next is a dress from Anthropologie. So this one is a maxi dress with one shoulder and like a smocked neckline. This is also new with tags. This one isn't as old as some of the other pieces that sold in the sale, but I needed to pick somewhere to draw the line, and I picked 4 months, so this one I would say is probably around that age. It sold for $26. I made $18.78 and I paid $4 for it, so still made an okay amount, but I thought that would be a pretty quick sale, and it took a little longer than expected, so I'm okay with what I ended up getting on it. So the shipping supplies that I'm using today are poly mailers. I just order ones from Amazon that are, I try to pick like cuter ones that aren't just plain. It has helped on occasion when someone is having a hard time finding a package. I can say, oh, it's in a white mailer that says thank you on it, or I had flamingo ones for a long time. You get the gist. So I use those. I try to find ones that are around $10 for a 100 pack on Amazon. And then I'm also using these mailers from USPS for some items that are bigger than the poly mailers. And then I have a couple things that need boxes. So these are the self-seal medium flat rate boxes. With Poshmark shipping, you can use any USPS packaging, which is awesome. And it's free to use, so if you want to put no money into packing supplies like these, you can just use all their free stuff, but I like the fun mailers. This one is a little girl's dress, and this is by the brand Trish Scully. I've sold this brand a couple of times. The pieces are all kind of this vibe, very fancy, lots of tulle and lace and colorful. They would make really cute bridesmaids dresses or flower girl dresses, Easter, that kind of stuff. So they're all really fun. This sold for $25 on an offer to me. So I made $20 and I paid $6 for this. This one is a little bigger, so I'm putting it in the USPS mailer. That is heading to California. I always like to see where stuff is going. This one is also going to California, and the first one is going to Texas. Next, this has been around for probably 3 years, and this is Soul Cycle. It is a crew neck sweatshirt. For a while, stuff like this was selling really well, but it has absolutely slowed down, and I've had this one for quite a long time. So this one sold for $16. So maybe I just had it priced too high if it still sold for $16 after, I think this one was a 60% off one, so I probably had that price too high. But I made $10.78 and it was from the bin, so probably around a $9 profit, and that is heading to New York. I'm in New Jersey, so that should get to them pretty quickly. This one isn't super old either, but I was happy to get it moving. It's a dress from Bowden with pineapples on it. One day at the thrift store, I found a whole bunch of Bowden dresses from, I believe, the same person, because they were all the same size. And this one was really cute. It sold for $16, so I got $10.78. I paid $5 for it, so a little over doubling my money on that one. This one is heading to North Carolina. I think these were the only pair of jeans that sold, which is interesting because I have quite a lot of jeans. These are Madewell. They are the stovepipe in a petite size. So I'm glad that those moved, because sometimes petite is a little harder to move, but I love to sell Madewell jeans. I have a ton of them that I've sold and currently stocked in my closet. The stovepipe is kind of a skinny jean, not quite like a jegging, but it's definitely on the skinnier side of a jean. They sold for $24, so I got $17.18. I paid $6 for those. They are going to California too. This is another Bowden that I got at the same time as the pineapple one. This one is polka dots. I think it's the exact same cut of dress, just obviously a different print. This one also sold for $16, and again $10.78, and I paid $5 for this as well. This one is heading to Texas. Okay, so I had one bundle sell, and the pricing on this one, there's my dog Mason. The pricing on this one, I took a super low ball offer, but it was 4 men's items, and none of them had much interest, if any, and a few of them have been around for a super long time. So I was just letting them go. So it was 4 items. The first one is a pair of swim shorts. They are from the brand Hang 10. I don't know if that's anything too great, but I wouldn't probably pick them up again. Those were from the bins. And then this was also from the bins, and at this point I wouldn't pick this up, but when I did, it was kind of a popular thing, but it's a sweater vest. So for a while girls were wearing men's sweater vests, so that's why I grabbed this from the bins. The brand is Chaps and it's just plain gray, so wouldn't take that one again. And then these are a pair of men's pants from the brand Hugo Boss, also from the gym. I would maybe pick these up again because it's a good brand, but they definitely took quite a while to sell. I'm gonna say they took like 2 years to sell. And then last, I paid $5 for this piece, so it was the only one not from the bins, and it's this jacket, and it's like perforated and has like, I don't know if they're real leather or not, I don't remember, sleeves on it. The brand is Damaged Goods by Sons of Heroes, and it was an expensive jacket, but I think the brand was just a little too unknown, that no one was really looking out for it, so I think it just wasn't getting found or anything. So I think this retailed for like $300 or something. So this guy got a great deal on all of those because he paid $35, which gave me 28, and 3 of the 4 things I was thrilled to be getting rid of. And then the jacket really had so little interest on it that it was fine with me to just let it go. So that is heading to California too. Interesting. Do you find that you have a lot of things that go to the same areas? Like, I feel like I sell a lot of things to California, Florida, and New York, more so than, say, the Midwest, or like, I very rarely have things go to Oregon or Washington or any of those kind of states. So this one I'm gonna keep in the bag just because I'm gonna ship it in it. So I'll pop up a picture here. But this was the brand Sailor, which is sold on Revolve and places like Neiman Marcus or Saks. It's a great brand, and this piece is gorgeous. I imagine someone is planning to wear it to a spring wedding. It was called the Kira Maxi in the color Sangria, and it sold for $90. Now I got 70. I was gonna stick this in here also. I have a whole bunch of the Real dust bags, so when I remember for something that is like a higher end item, I try to remember to stick it in one of these. So this sold for $90. I got 70. I only paid 20 for it, so I was happy with that sale. I did have this dress listed for much higher than $90, but I'm still happy with that profit margin. This is heading to Texas. This is from the brand Gretchen Scott, and it has very preppy vibes to all their stuff. It kind of is similar to, I'd say, Lily or Vineyard Vines. It is pretty expensive, but I don't often get the best resale prices for it. This one was the Everywhere dress, and it sold for $24. I made $17, $18, and I paid $10 for it, so Not super happy with that return, but I think it was a pretty dress and I do still pick it up. I'm just pickier with it now. And this is staying in New Jersey and it's going to a town that I have never heard of. Is a Lululemon. I had, I think, 3 pieces of Lululemon sell. This is a Swiftly Tech tank in the color pistachio. The Swiftly Tech tops do sell well for me. I wouldn't say like a ton, but they at least have the sizing in the band at the bottom, which is nice because most of the time if the tag is out, you don't know the size of a Lululemon top. But that one was from the bins and it sold for $22. This one sold before my 60% off sale. I made $14.62 and it probably cost me around 50 cents. So I'm happy with that return. That is going to North Carolina. All right, this next one, I'll pop up a picture here because it's at my parents' house, so I had to go grab it, so I can't show you it. But it was an Anthropologie dress that was my sister's that I am selling for her. It sold for $25. I'm making $17.18 on it, and it will be going to Tennessee. I will get that one and drop that off at the post office with the rest of the stuff. This one I would say is slightly disappointing. So the brand was American Giant, which I had learned about from Common Tags on YouTube. She finds it pretty often, and this was the first time I found it. Granted, it was only a plain black men's t-shirt, but I had it for quite a while. It had very little interest. I think she always says their sweatshirts are really good, but anyway, I would probably still pick it up to try again. But this one sold for $10. I got 503, and luckily I had gotten it at the bins, so that was fine. Probably paid around $1, but this is heading to Kentucky. This is another Lululemon item, and I have had these for a really long time. These are the Pace Rival Crop. They are a lower rise cropped legging. I would not pick these up. Well, maybe still at the bins I would grab them, but I wouldn't pay more than like $1 or so for them. These sold for $16, which gave me $10.78. And that was $4 is how much I spent on them. So $6 or so for having them for probably 3 years. Not so great, but that's okay. Also heading to California. A pair of leggings by the brand Zella. I had bought these for myself and I didn't like them, so ended up selling them. They were from Nordstrom Rack. I paid $8 for them at one of their like clear the rack sales. They were brand new with tags, of course. They sold for $16. Got $10.78 for them. And when it's stuff that I'm selling because it's my own stuff that I'm either clearing out or didn't like or whatever, I definitely am willing to, just be happy to make my money back. So made a couple dollars on these. They are heading to Indiana. This one is really pretty. This is a dress by Zara. I actually had this listed pretty high because I thought it was so pretty, and there wasn't too many available for sale, but hopefully someone's gonna wear this for Easter. I got it at the bins, paid somewhere probably around $1.50 for it. It sold for $15 on a counter offer to me from my sale, so I made $12, so I didn't have to pay the shipping discount at least, and made around $10, I would say, on those. Not those. Hopefully she likes it and wears it for Easter. That is heading to Tennessee. This is another piece that I had grabbed to try on for myself. Didn't love it, so selling it. I did thrift it, but I paid $10 for it, which isn't too bad for Lily, honestly, especially because it's an extra large. But if I had like looked it up, really, I probably would have left it behind because it wasn't a very popular style. It only sold for $24, so I got $17, $18, and like I said, I paid $10 for it. But if you watch my channel, you know I struggle to leave Lily behind at the thrift store. That is heading to Colorado, which is not where I usually see most of my Lily go, so that's interesting. Is a really fun one. This is by the brand Farm Rio. If you don't know that brand, definitely keep an eye out for it. They are known for really fun, funky, tropical prints. This one I actually found at the bins. I saw it like as the rotation was happening, and I, ran for that bin, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is Farm Rio, and it was. I pay up for this brand sometimes, but this sold for $50. I got $40, and I would have held out for more if I hadn't gotten it from the bins where I paid, less than $3 for it. So I was happy with that profit margin, but I would not have taken that offer if I had spent more on it than the bins, because I probably could have gotten closer to 100 for it if I really held out. That is heading to New Mexico. This I'm gonna leave in here because it's gonna be hard for me to fold back up tight enough to fit in the pouch. So this is, I'll show it here. A dress from Anthropologie by Pilcrow. It's called the Marta dress. I got it from the bins, and it was a pretty recent piece, but it was missing a belt, which I think based on its shape kind of hurt its resale value. So it sold for $20, and that was an offer to me, so I made $16 on it, and from the bins that's still a decent return for that. I've had that since sometime in the fall. That is heading to Ohio. This one I'm gonna ship in the bag too. So this was from my own collection of Lily Pulitzer. I ordered it for myself to try from one of her sales, and that stuff is final sale. Like, I can't return it if it doesn't fit or I don't like it. So it is a risk, but this was called the Jezebel romper in the color Floral Coral. I paid $60 for it from the sale, which is a good price if you know Lily, but it sold for $93. I made $71.42, so I am totally happy that I made almost $12 on this, because I paid a lot for it, and I was happy to just be making my money back on something like that. And that is going to Texas. This I probably had listed for way too high, but it was really cute. I found at the thrift store this little girl's Burberry dress. So it is a polo dress, and it has flying pigs. It says Burberry right there. It retailed for like $200 or something like that. but it sold for 40. I had it listed for 100, I think, which was probably too high, but that's all right. I had that for around a year. I made 30 on it. I paid $12.50, so a little over double my money on a little kid's dress. And that is heading literally 5 minutes from my house. That's so funny. My gym is in the town that that's going to. This is a blazer from J. Crew. I love to pick up J. Crew blazers. The thrift store usually doesn't price them up too much unless they are new with tags. So I can usually get a good deal on them. Some of them do exceptionally well. This one was not like one of the most popular styles. It just says Super 120 on it, which I think is like the type of wool. But I paid $5. It sold on an offer to me for $35, so I made $28, and I am cool with that. I've sold some J. Crew blazers for like $60, $70, and that is going to Massachusetts. That one I would say is a little more like true business type blazer, opposed to some of them are more like you could wear for fun. This was on an offer to me as well. And this is a t-shirt from the brand The Mountain, and it has a big horse on it, obviously. And this sold for $15. I paid I made $12. I paid $2 for it, and that is heading to Texas as well. This I've had for years, probably 3 or so years. I got it from the bins. It is a wrap dress from J. Crew. It's super cute. I don't know why it took so long to sell. It sold for $12. I made $7.03, and it came from the bins. Probably paid around $1 for that one. And that is heading to Texas too. Oh my gosh. Texas and California today. This sold not from the sale, and this is another piece of Bowden. This one is super cute with the little pom-poms. It was called the Karina tunic, and I had actually just relisted this a couple days ago, which I'm trying to do more relisting because some things just sit forever, and then pretty much if I relist 10 things, one of them has been selling within a week. So it definitely helps. I just have to be more consistent about doing it. This sold for $26. I made $17.82, and I got it from the bin, so probably somewhere between $1 and $2 for that one. That is heading to Tennessee. This was on an offer to me, and it is this jacket by the brand Spider. Not something I would probably have picked up in the thrift store, but from the bins I did grab it. It sold for $15. So I made $12, and I got it from the bins, so it's a little heavier. I probably paid around $3 for it. I kind of would have liked to see a little more from this, but it's March, so I'm glad to sell something winter and not have to store it for another 6 months. And that is going to South Carolina. This next piece I also had to grab from my parents' house. It is the brand Ivy City Co., which I have sold a few times. I love their stuff personally. They make really fun, feminine, girly. And this sold same day that I listed it. I paid $20 because I was hoping I'd like it for myself, but it wasn't quite the right fit. It sold for $45. I made $13.02, and I'm super happy to make $13 in a day. Can't beat that. This has been around for a really long time as well. This is a fantastic brand to pick up, especially if you find it at the bins, and that is Posh Peanut, or really any bamboo baby clothes. So this one has a rip in it down around the knee, which obviously I noted and listed and put in the title and everything. So I had found this day like 8 or 10 sleepers from this brand, and those all sold super quick. This one took much longer. Obviously it was damaged. So you know, looking for the right buyer, but it sold for $10 still with that rip in it. I paid probably, I'd say less than 50 cents for it. So I made $7.05. That's heading to Washington, D.C. This is the last piece of Lulu that sold for the day. And these sold on an offer to me. And I've only had these since maybe November, I'm gonna say. Found these at the bins. They are the Speed Up short, and they sold for $25. I made $20 and probably paid around $1 or so on those. I don't find a ton of Lululemon in my thrift stores. But I do find it almost every time that I go to the bins, and that is heading to Florida. Has been around for probably 2 years as well, and this was also on an offer to me. This is from Anthropologie. The brand is Daily Practice, and it is kind of known as like more of their casual wear stuff, but or like loungy type clothes. This sold for $37. It retailed for something ridiculously high, like $160. I made $29.60 on it, and I had paid $6 for it at least 2 years ago. So sold that. That is heading to California. I need to grab some tissue paper but this is the only non-clothing thing that sold today. And this is a Coach bag. And the only problem with it, it's in really good shape, but the strap is not the original strap to it. This original strap is more of like a shoulder strap. This could be like a crossbody. So I've had this for well over 2 years. I think that was mostly the reason that it wasn't selling, was that strap, even though I personally would prefer a crossbody. The strap itself, like the hardware matches fine. It's black leather. It doesn't look like it doesn't belong with it, but I'm imagining that was the deterrent. So this sold on an offer to me for $25, and I made $20 and I paid $10 for it. And I'm gonna put tissue in here after I am done filming and pack that one up. This is heading somewhere in New York. I think this might be the first time I'd found this brand, and it is Kobe Halpern. They're just a pair of black pants. at my thrift store, I do tend to find some really good plain black gray pant brands. Like I found Chanel one time. I think just because people don't really, unless you're looking for yourself, want to go through the black pants. But I also hate photographing them, so I tend to not do it either. But those were a good one. They ended up only selling for $20, which I made $13.98. I paid $6, so about doubled my money. But a lot of their other stuff really does sell quite well, so I definitely pick that brand up again. Maybe just not plain black pants. Those are going to Florida. It has been around for a very long time. If I were to find this at this point, I would end up just sending it to ThreadUp or The Real. This is from Escada. It's a really pretty dress, but the brand just does not sell well for me. Any of those more mature designer brands really don't sell super great for me. But this did eventually sell for $30. I paid $10, which I would not pay for Escada at this point, most likely, unless it was something amazing. I made $28.98, so about doubled my money on that. And that is going to Ohio. We have this Diane von Furstenberg dress, which I honestly find pretty often, but at this point I mostly only pick up their wrap dresses unless I find it at the bins. I would obviously grab something else, but the wrap dresses still do really well for me. This one, however, has been around for a pretty long time. I think it was maybe the print. It is blue snake print. It sold for $30. I made $21.98, and I actually found this at the bins. So I probably paid around $1.50 for it, so not bad profit in the end. I probably had it listed for like $80, but that is going to Michigan. I think I'm gonna leave this one in the package just so it fits well. This is a blazer from the brand Eloquii, which is a plus size brand. It was a pretty cute blazer with ruffles on the front. I found that at the bins. I would probably not have paid more. Like, I don't normally pick up Eloquii in the thrift store unless it was a really cool piece and maybe brand new. But from the bins, I will definitely grab it. It sold for $20. I made $13.98, and this was probably somewhere between $3 and $4 at the bins. So that, at least that one hasn't been around for too long. I'm gonna guess maybe like 6 months. That one's going to Maryland. And this is a skirt from Fabletics. It was a 2X, super cute navy skirt. I think these are still pretty popular this summer. They were very popular last year, but that sold for $10. I made $5.03, and I got that from the bins. I'm gonna say around the beginning of fall, so not terribly long, and that is going to Texas. I feel like of all these packages, we've shipped to like 6 states. And this has been around for kind of a while. I thought that it would be a quicker sale than it was, but again, these are pretty popular still this year. It is an athletic dress from Old Navy. It only sold for $10. I made $5.03, but I paid $2.50 for it, so not too bad. I would probably still pick up a dress like that, especially as spring and summer is approaching. I think that will be when they're most popular again. Even from Old Navy, I'd pick them up because I have a whole bunch of those, and they retail for you know, like 50 bucks. So they got a good deal, and that is heading to Wisconsin. I only have a couple more, I think just 2 more. So this one is a vest from North Face. It is actually a girl's extra large, and this has been around for quite some time. It's reversible, so you can have like the fleece on the outside or the inside. I sold a North Face vest last week too, that I've had for quite a while, which is interesting. At the end of winter to sell both of them, but fine with me. I'd rather not store them for the next 6 months. So this sold for $20. I made $13.98. I paid $6.50 for it. I probably would not pay that at this point for that. I would pick it up from the bins or pay $2 or $3 for it, but North Face hasn't been doing great for me, and that's going to Texas too. Maybe they're going on vacation somewhere cold, because I would imagine at this point in mid-March that Texas is not very cold anymore. And then last but not least is a dress from the brand Black Halo, which is a great brand to find. Their pieces are typically very, I would call them like minimalist. I've sold a couple dresses, a jumpsuit. This one sold for $40. I made $30, a couple fuzzies on it, and I paid $7 for it, so fine with that. I've had this, I would say, for around 6 months, and that was a decent sale. So I think that was a really good weekend. I haven't had a weekend like this in a really long time. Obviously, some of it was me running a sale and not getting, you know, full price and great profits on everything, but sometimes you got to clear stuff out. You know, retail stores do it, we have to do it too. This is heading to California as well, and thank you for watching. I hope that was interesting for you to see what sold, maybe learn some new brands, and I will see you next time. Thank you.